Hey folks, this video is listenable, meaning that you don't have to watch it in order to get the full experience. You can watch it, and you will get the full experience, but you might get more stuff. Look, all I'm trying to say is that if you want to, put this on in the background while you're working on stuff, go do that. That's just as valid of a way to watch it as it is to glue your eyes to the screen and watch the B-reel footage. With that in mind, thank you and enjoy. Also, there's spoilers ahead for, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and a couple other Pokemon games, too. Just a heads up. You know what the worst thing about being a gamer is? And I say this without any irony, which is weird to start a video off with, starting the sentence, you know what the worst thing about being a gamer is? The worst thing about being a gamer is that there are so many video games that I want to play, and there are no moments in my life where I can sit down and play through them without breaks for an extended period of time. That is the worst part about being a gamer. There are so many different games to play, and there is so little time. I come home after work, sitting in the lab, thinking all day, and I come home and my brain is just off. Do I want to learn the new rules of a video game that I've never played before? No, I really don't. And that's what's so frustrating, is that I would love to play Triangle Strategy, but I don't want to think, which makes it really difficult to finish Triangle Strategy. That's one of the worst parts of being a gamer, if not the worst. Especially a gamer who has a full-time job that requires a lot out of them on a regular basis. It's so frustrating to not have any mental energy when you come home. And I know what it sounds like. It sounds like I'm ranting about my job and how I wish I could play video games for the rest of my life and how this was the dream. And the fact that I'm streaming in the first place allows me to do so. But I'd like to propose an alternative viewpoint. I stream because it's the only time and only way I can It's the only way I can justify playing video games for more than 3 hours at a time. Time, for better or for worse, is a commodity that rules my life. And the problem is that Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3 are both 100+ hour games. And if I can only play that game once a week for 3 hours maximum, that's no good. How the am I gonna get through this game in... I don't know what I'm gonna... It'll be 2025 until I am done with the game. How can I justify that when I want to play other games too? I want to play other video games like Live Alive and Dragon Quest XI, which are also really long. When people ask me, oh, have you played this really long game that's critically acclaimed, like Nier Automata? I'm like, no, I haven't. And what am I saying to them? I'm saying, oh, I just don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the mental preparation to go into a Yoko Taro game and take it all in and experience the masterpiece that it is. It's so frustrating. That's one of my biggest gripes as an adult, is I don't have time to play video games anymore and have that childlike wonder of just trying new shit. I'm super nervous and concerned and anxious that I'm just gonna not do it right and I'm not gonna learn a damn thing and that my brain isn't gonna let me do so in the first place. That's how fucking frustrating it is being a gamer and an adult. You have to sit down and choose what you want to play. When you were a kid, you probably went to a video rental store, a video game rental store of some kind. If you're like me, born in the late 90s or mid 90s or early 2000s, there was probably a place you rented games from that you didn't have any control over what games were presented to you. for example. And so you played those games all the way through because that's all you had. And now as an adult, you have the illusion of choice. And the problem of having too many choices all at once. Oh, I want to play... You see what I mean? Like, that's a problem. This is the modern issue for gamers my age, is that we just have to choose what we want to play, and we have to choose how we spend our time, because, newsflash, as an adult, you can't f***ing do everything. You want to replay Super Mario Galaxy for the 10th time? That's cool and all, but like, don't you want to do something new?
No! No!
Don't you want to learn how to speedrun it? I don't know. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to play a game that I know that's easy and familiar. I don't have time to sit down and f***ing grind through gruel that is presented to me. Like, when I go and I'm trying to play a new game like Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, a game I could have grown up with, I don't have time to sit at death and just grind through the boss fight, this stupid boss fight with its double scythe that just bounces around the room. I don't have time to lose. I don't have time to lose. But what is losing as well? Because I don't want to start a new playthrough of a game I've already played. As much joy as it brings me to play Fire Red again, what would be the point? I'm just going to fast forward it on Desmume, or f***ing Visual Boy Advance, or My Boy, or some other thing, you know? I'm gonna just speed through it and get the same dopamine rush? It's not the same. It's not the same, and I wish it were easier to have that opportunity to just go back into a game and play it and like it and not feel like I'm wasting my time, or feel like I'm actually having a good time, because it's so fucking frustrating. You want to know something else that's really annoying to me? Is that lately, I can't play through a game without a walkthrough. I'm playing Fire Emblem, like Blazing Blade, the one with Lyn and Ella Wood and Hector, and I'm sitting down to play this game, and I'm nervous. At every chapter, I'll think to myself, I come home at the end of the day on a Friday, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what I want to play today. I could play Fire Emblem, but ooh, I don't know. I might miss something or have to replay a chapter, and it's like, why do I have that feeling? It's so frustrating. I have to open up a walkthrough and look through all the things that are available on this map just to make sure that I don't miss a character so I get the full experience out of it. I'm so concerned playing games, trying to get the best experience out of things, that I end up getting caught up in my own brain thinking about how I want to play a game. Am I alone in feeling this way? Like, genuinely, am I alone in wondering if I'm getting the full experience out of it and feeling uncomfortable, anxious, scared about not getting the best playthrough experience? Like, I get it, you know, you can come back and replay it, or you can go back and load a save and try something different, but I don't have the time or mental energy to do that. I want to be able to play a game and not worry that I'm not getting near 100%, and I used to be that person as a kid who was like, I want to get 100% in all of my video games, and now I'm trying really hard to not do that anymore so that I can finally just get through these games that people have recommended, that they say are really good. It's so hard to justify it because I come home, I have no brain energy, I have no willpower, I want to just do nothing. Isn't that sad? I don't even want to play video games because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of starting something new, and I'm bored by the stuff I've already done. The other thing, too, is that This might be a problem exclusive to me, a PhD student who spends a lot of his time just floundering around during the day trying to learn new things and grow as a person with my knowledge and develop my understanding of a lot of different things. But I do not want to get better at fighting games or competitive gaming anymore. I don't have the time or the energy. I do not want to stress myself out with that anymore. I've tried, I have failed, I am moving on. Now I am trying my best to just appreciate things and experience things. I don't have to be the best. I have given up on that, okay? I have given up trying to be the best at things. I am, at the start of the VGC season, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a VGC player this year. And I have dropped that because I literally do not have the stamina to keep up with meta trends and constantly be adapting. I am spreading myself so fucking thin. So fucking thin, okay? That I just wanted to play Pokemon Scarlet and have a good time with it. I didn't want to hatch the eggs, I didn't want to have to do that, or anything else like that. I didn't care about breeding, competitive EVs, I didn't worry about anything like that. I didn't worry about catching like a Roaring Moon with a good nature and good IVs, because look again, the Roaring Moon I caught literally has 0 attack, okay? Literally 0 attack! And despite everything, despite it all, I still really enjoyed Pokemon Scarlet. And it's funny to me because March 2nd, March 2nd, 2022, I was at home, right? I was on winter break, spring break, whatever you want to call it. Michigan, the University of Michigan, is weird. I was at home, and I slept through the announcement that said Gen 9 was around. That it was coming and that it was a thing. I slept through that, and I opened up the YouTube video to watch what was coming next, and I watched it and I said, oh, that was fast. I did not expect Gen 9 stuff. Now, Gen 8's, because at that point Gen 8 had been out for 3 years, and Gen 8 had come out while I was halfway through college, and now I was graduating college and in grad school. Oh my god. I wrote this script basically saying that I was no longer the target audience and that I was not excited about Gen 9. I did not have any high expectations for Pokemon Scarlet, okay? I had none. 0. I was debating if I even wanted to get it. Okay, cool, it's an open world Pokemon game. Great. That's cool. But why should I care when I was bored out of my mind with Sword and Shield? BDSP was a letdown, to put it very mildly.
Oh, we're not gonna play Brilliant Diamond, we're not gonna play that stupid baby loser, smelly, stinky diaper fart poo-poo game, no. That game is for losers.
And I just had not had fun with Pokemon since Black 2 and White 2. Kalos was underwhelming, Alola was boring, Galar, I mean, Jesus. I didn't even play the post-game of Galar because I was bored by it. So of course, Scarlet and Violet, I was giving Pokemon one last chance because I was tired of just being led along to play a game that was not for me. To put a singular number on Scarlet and Violet in terms of a review does not do the review justice, because there is something to be said about Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet is an incredibly buggy experience, graphically pitiful, and an otherwise rushed and barely tested game that clearly was meant to get out as fast as possible for the holiday season to sell millions and millions of copies because
Did it work?
Oh my god, it's an open world Pokemon game.
What is going on? Oh boy. What the f just happened?
The windmills and flags move at like 2 FPS when viewed at a distance. It looks atrocious for what one might expect. to be there. You can compare it to Xenoblade Chronicles, the original one, like the Wii one, and it looks worse. It's so poorly presented that it makes you wonder why, right? It makes you wonder what the hell was going on, and why is this game out now and not 6 months from now? Even 5 months from now. You know what they said? Good old Shiggy Miyamoto said a rush game is never good, but a delayed one's good, or something. Put that in text, big impact font. It's embarrassing. And I am amazed that the Pokemon Company would put that out there. But to say that graphics and presentation are the full deciding factor on whether I liked a game or not would be just flat out wrong, because Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are the most fun I have had in a Pokemon game in a very, very long time. And it was one of those games where I came home and did not give a shit if I just wandered around in the world of Paldea, and that was okay. I didn't make progress. I raised 18 different Pokemon in my playthrough of Pokemon Scarlet. Okay? I did not care how long it took. I did not care how long I spent just grinding with these Pokemon that I had come to appreciate. I did not care exploring that cave that I saw up on that cliff, because it was cool. There was something there. It was fun. Which is something I really cannot say I experienced in a Pokemon game since Generation 5. Now, don't get me wrong, I've beaten the game and there's not that much to do after you beat the game. The meat and potatoes of the fun in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet comes from just being in Paldea and exploring it and appreciating it for what it is and what it has to offer. And again, it's easy. The gym leaders are easy. Titans are easy. The Team Star Raids, while pretty cool, are the easiest ones of them all. And yes, I was overleveled. I am not going to deny that in the slightest. I loved grinding in this game, and I think that's a good mark of a good, fun game, is that if I enjoy the grind, then that's all that matters. The Pokemon I used for reference are a Meowscarada, a Skeledirge, a Quaquaval, a Clodsire, a Darkspun, a Tinkaton, a Cyclizar, an Arboliva, a Garganacl, a Bellibolt, a Lokix, a Pawmot, an Annihilape, a Farigiraf, a Volcarona, a Haxorus, an Armarouge, and a Baxcalibur. 18. 16 of these are new Pokemon, and 2 are ones that I've been wanting to raise for a while, but, surprise, are not easily raised in other games. So this game gave me the opportunity to try out old Pokemon in a new context in a way that I could raise them effectively. That was fun and cool. And I was able to appreciate that because of the world that Paldea is. Paldea is so fun to just run around in. My favorite part of the region, though, is everything basically in the northern province, whether that's Lake Caseroya or like the backcountry leading into all of the bamboo forest area. It's so isolated and so feels like it's unexplored that it's so fun to just wander around and see the sights, look at the autumnal foresty area where you watch the toad school running around like, oh look, there you go. And like, this space is so flipping cool to look at and appreciate, even if it looks like sometimes. Paldea's backcountry really reminds me of like Route 27 in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, for example, where after you go back from New Barktown, you realize you can get to Kanto just by surfing, and that you can go and challenge the Elite Four in Kanto and review everything. And it's like this new space that's so new to you. Despite everything, you think you've explored the whole world? No, there is still more. And that stuff to explore is new and hard and challenging, and it's exciting. That's how I felt exploring Paldea's backcountry and finding that cave with Frenzy Plant and Blast Burn and Hydro Cannon. It's such a cool way to organically give you those moves. You're not going to go to backcountry until you have at least 6 badges or so, because everything there is at least level 50. So it's cool, and it's gated in a way. It's a great way to have the player be blocked off reasonably well. I haven't even talked about the story or the storylines in the game beyond saying, again, like the different boss fights on each were interesting and fun. And I think that's par for the course. I mean, I was not really blown away by the gym leader route, besides Nimona being kind of fun. I was not blown away by the Titans, even though Arven has an incredible arc in and of himself in healing Mabosstiff. That was an interesting and exciting, and I was so committed to it. That storyline was so good. And the Team Star raids, for as anime as it was, Operation Starfall and Clive being Clive, and like Cassiopeia obviously being you-know-who, the backstories made the characters so much more interesting and compelling. I wanted to know more about these characters, and by the end, I felt bad for them. I haven't felt bad for anyone in a Pokemon game since, I mean, maybe Lily in Sun and Moon? Not Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but like Sun and Moon. And then you think about, okay, Pokemon Black and White had a phenomenal story. Like, it's so good, dude. And everything since then has been a... Sword and Shield story is like the Magic Treehouse books. And say what you want about Magic Treehouse, fine, it was a part of your childhood, but those books are fucking basic as hell. Like, oh, chapter 1, they go in the treehouse. Chapter 2, they say the magic words and figure out where they're going. Chapter 9, they figure out what the fuck's wrong. And chapter 10, they come back to the treehouse. And that's it. That is Sword and Shield in a nutshell. There is no emotional depth. There is no characterization. There are no meaningful plot twists. We all knew Chairman Rose was gonna pull some bullshit. We just knew. Like, why have him as a character otherwise, right? Okay, cool. Now, let's talk about The Way Home. The Way Home and Area Zero is the coolest fucking thing I've seen in a Pokemon game since End's Castle came out of the ground. It is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in a Pokemon game. It is the most disorienting thing I've ever seen in a game since the Distortion World. It's just so abundantly glimmery. Like, I wish I had a better way of putting it, but the way that the wind sparkles along and you just see these weird Pokemon, like, there's just Venomoth? Like, of all the Pokemon, Venomoth? Oh man. And it's so fascinating. You just wander around this foggy area without Koraidon or Miraidon, and you have to go down, spiraling down like Junji Ito's Uzumaki. It's so cool. And all the while, the friends that you made along the way, which is the point of the game, by the way, all the friends you made along the way are providing narrative commentary, basically. They are talking about things. Arven's telling about his parents being bad parents. Nimona is being an idiot. And Penny actually is like being sympathetic. It's so fascinating to watch as you go further and further and further down into the crater. Imagine entering that cave between the second and third checkpoints and thinking to yourself, oh, we're just gonna get a normal cave. No. That cave is different. And it's so cool. I'm gonna be totally real with you all. When I first played the deepest part of Area Zero, going down further and further and finding the research station Zero and getting to the very bottom and just watching everything unfold, my world was rocked. I remained unspoiled, and I am so thankful I did, because it is one of the coolest experiences in any Pokemon game. And I'm gonna be real with you too, I got scared. I got scared in Area Zero. When you see Sada message you as you unlock gates, the sense of dread that I experienced throughout just kept looming and growing. At the first gate you unlock it, Sada says, "Good job," and the game literally says nothing could go wrong by unlocking this. So it's fine. It sounds like Stu is like, "Hey man, do you want to unlock the gate?" And then you do. And Sada just happens to know the student ID numbers of Nemona and Penny just like that. That was my first red flag. My bigger red flag was at the third checkpoint when Sada just started glitching, dude. And the screen started turning. That scared me. When a game does that, when a game starts zooming in and turning the screen ever so slightly to make you feel disoriented, like in Doki Doki Literature Club, for example, that throws me off, and I hate that. It scares me. It caught me off guard because Pokemon does not do that. Modern Pokemon is about your friends who like to dance, or your friends who are okay with being beaten by you over and over and over. It's dumb. Here was the moment in Pokemon Scarlet that was so astonishing to me. After you beat all the, not Ultra Beasts, all the Paradox Pokemon that exit from the lab that you open in the bottom of the hole, and you go inside, you enter in a circular tube. And normally you see a door at the end that you should be able to unlock, but if you take 2 steps forward, you'll see that the tube, its right side has been broken, and you can see inside the lab where something or someone is sitting slumped over, and it kinda looks like Sada. It's uncanny, and it's unsettling. And as you walk in and you find out that the AI is a good guy, okay, cool, great. But suddenly, then you get to learn about the time machine. And all of the plot that goes down there is so insane. There is someone who has died. Sada is dead, and they say it. Had they gone any further, the game probably would have warranted an E10 rating. I'm telling you right now, the final boss of this game is one of the best final bosses I have experienced in a very long time. And it is complete, and it is stressful, it is not easy, and it is complete. I think I said complete twice, I don't know. And it's got kick-ass music. Like, Toby Fox did a phenomenal job. Everyone's gonna say it. Everyone's already said it, but Toby Fox composing the AI Sada, AI Turo final boss theme is one of the most impressive battle themes in any Pokemon game, and it's gotten to the point where that battle theme is in probably my top 3 all-time Pokemon battle themes, set third to only Dialga's fight to the finish and Champion Cynthia's theme. And say what you will about Ed Sheeran being top 40 radio after everything's all said and done. The ending sequence of this game where your Koraidon or Miraidon fights the Alpha Koraidon or Miraidon is an excellent way to cap off the game by allowing Miraidon or Koraidon to get their mojo back, basically. Your last friend finally gets over their fear and their insecurities, and they become the powerful being that they can know that you can be. Like, it's all about supporting your friends in the same way that you did so with Nemona, with Penny, and with Arven. You also do that with Koraidon or Miraidon. And there are other parts of the game too that are super fun to just run around in. Like the Dolly Zappa Ridge is so cool because it's just got this cave system that just like goes around and like up and down. And like there are spots where if you're not looking up, you might miss cave passages, and you can find like a level 75 Lucario in there. You can find a Frigibax in there, the Pseudo. You can find Dinos there. You can find Larvestas there. You can find so many cool Pokemon there, and it's just a neat f***ing maze. It's so neat. When I first went there after going through Zappa Pico, I was like, okay, it's a mountain, whatever. But like, I was caught off guard. I will admit, I was caught off guard by the amount of joy that was provided to me just from running around those caves, getting lost in them. I didn't care that I was lost. I was having fun. It was like, oh, it might take a while before I get to the next place in the game, but who cares? I was having fun. I don't mind. I was having fun. It's not stressful. It's easy. It's like whatever. And the thing is, like, everything's auto experience, so like, say what you will about that, but it made it a lot easier. I didn't have to worry about grinding. Or getting to Alfornada, for example, the 7th gym, where like, you have to go around this natural path, and you can stick to the path and go through like the Alfornada tunnel or whatever it's called, which is like a natural landscape maze, which is sick, by the way. Or you could go around the back way, or the other back way, or get lost and like try climbing these cliffs that you know you shouldn't be climbing. It's phenomenal. You can go down, you can go up, you can go around. You're gonna have to figure out how to get to Alfornada though, because it's on top of the mountain. And if you try to get to Alfornada early, you're gonna have trouble doing so because not only are the Pokemon higher leveled, but you just don't have the skills and movement abilities from Koraidon or Miraidon to do so. And it's such a fucking cool way to make sure that you're not getting somewhere you're not supposed to be. People were complaining that like, oh, you should be able to challenge the gyms in any order, but I find that this way of doing it, where like it's a natural progression that blocks you off when you don't have the story beats done, that is cool to me. And I actually really liked it a lot more than I thought I would. So, whatever, man. It is what it is. I had fun trying to get to a town. When was the last time in Pokemon I had fun just trying to get somewhere? I think about BDSP, how like, when you're trying to get to Celestic Town and you have to use defog or whatever, that's a garbage route. Or like, when in Kalos, how you just wander through this frozen wasteland with the Mamoswine, which is neat at first, the first time, but if you're trying to get back, it's a slog. And I think about how in Alola, on like, I think it's the second island, which is like Akala Island, every route on Akala Island is a straight path highway. Like, I've been to Hawaii and I know that the highways just go around the islands and it's realistic, but you cannot tell me that it is fun to just walk around a highway and go to like the jungle or the pools or the fucking Pele. It's not Pele Mountain. What is the mountain, the volcano called? Sun and Moon Volcano. Looking it up on my phone, right? Wella Mountain Park. Wella Volcano Park. Like, that's not fun. Hi, Voltage and Post. I think it says a lot that I couldn't remember the name Wella Volcano Park at all either. The wild area in Sword and Shield is like, it's laughable compared to Scarlet and Violet's open world. And that's the wild area. Every other route in Sword and Shield sans maybe the one where you exit the mine and are going to Turffield for the first time. That's it. That's like the only one that's like, oh, this is kind of cool. Every other modern route just kind of sucks. The last time I have had fun getting to a place from one town to the next in Pokemon was when I left Petalburg Gym heading toward Fort Tree City in Emerald for the first time. The feeling of exploration, the feeling of grandiosity that I've finally been able to cross over into the other half of the Hoenn region is so cool to me. That was the last time. You could maybe make that argument about also going to like Route 224 in Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, like finding that secret path in Victory Road and then like going along that way. Even in Unova, I'm going to be honest, it was not like I was clamoring to try to get from one place to the next. Clay Tunnel was cool, but like, there were no truly required areas that I enjoyed exploring, you know? Not until Scarlet and Violet. It was not until, like, places like Dali Zappa Ridge, or Alfornada, or Lake Casaroya, where I finally felt like I was exploring and having fun. There's this space, too, where you can find, like, the terrestrializing Garchomp with the water. Can't even remember the name of that area. But I didn't find it on my first, like, go-through of the space. And then I came back to it, and I was like, whoa, what the f*** is this? And I said it like that at Christmas, actually. And it's so cool. Like, this space just happens to exist. It's the little things like that, where just being in the world and taking your time with it and being able to do so without feeling like you're wasting your time was so nice for me. So I say this now with utmost certainty that Scarlet and Violet were fun experiences that I enjoyed greatly. And I would rate, like, in my low 90s if I had to give it a number. It looks like shit. It does not function well, there are a ton of glitches, and yet I don't care because I had fun playing it. I had fun playing it with myself, I had fun playing it with other people. I haven't even talked about the fact that there's co-op. Something I've wanted in a Pokemon game since, like, Gen 4, when I played Dragon Quest IX and had people come into my world and we could just fight bosses. I've wanted that in a Pokemon game, and this is the first time we've come even remotely close to that. So to me, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, while not being technically impressive, are the most fun I have had playing video games in a while, which says a lot because I really enjoyed Breath of the Wild and I really enjoyed Xenogears, and since then, the games I've played have been fine, but they're games that I'm like trying to, you know, like experience again for myself and see what I like, you know? Scarlet and Violet were Pokemon's last chance for me. They were not games that I was going to try to be like, oh, what's this? This might be new and fun. They were Pokemon's last gasp of sticking in games that I'm willing to support. And I need you, the viewer, to understand that while I do not support the practice of releasing an unfinished, unpolished game like Scarlet and Violet, the content that I experienced was well within its bounds to be fun, engaging, and simple enough to where I was not coming home from work and thinking, oh, I don't want to play Scarlet and Violet because it's... I don't like learning anymore. I was willing to sink 70 hours into Scarlet and Violet. Think about that. That's almost 3 whole days of my life only playing this game. My backlogging system that I have in my personal knowledge management system on Obsidian, the way that it records clear times, I can put in, 70 hours, 30 minutes, whatever, but it's going to report them in terms of lengths of days. I spent 3 days with this game. 3 full-length days, all things considered. At the moment that I'm recording this script, this loosely put together script, this off-the-rails, unhinged, rambling script. Three days is enough to be able to say that I feel confident that you, a skeptic of Pokemon, should at least try the game. It's easy. I get that. If you're looking for challenge, just raise more Pokemon. It's easy to do. The EXP share is on all the time, which may be a detriment to you. I get it. Just raise more Pokemon. There are so many available. The full national dex might not be available. Fine. That's okay. there are 400 Pokemon in the regional dex anyway. Think about the amount of Pokemon you could just catch in a normal game of Pokemon Emerald. It's 200 some. Hi, me again in post. It's actually exactly 200 if you don't count Jirachi and Deoxys. Think about all the Pokemon you could catch in Fire Red and Leaf Green. It's less than 150. There are new Pokemon being presented to you constantly, ones you probably haven't used before. So just use them. You can go as fast or slow as you want in these games. The game will let you do that, and it's easy enough to just try it out. There's no punishment. If you like your games hard, okay, fine. I get it. You can impose rules upon yourself, and you're gonna maybe complain, oh, but why isn't the game like this in the first place? Well, maybe the 8-year-old who got this game for Christmas doesn't want to play a Nuzlocke. Just play an Iron Man or something. Like, if you let permadeath rules play, then it's a hard game. Genuinely, it's a hard game. Yes, the battle mode is always on Switch, but that doesn't mean you have to switch. The only thing it does is it tells you which Pokemon is next. So, like, those are some things that I would tell you if you are even remotely on the fence. I don't even care that I'm stuttering and sputtering in this. I just need you to know now that Scarlet and Violet were Pokemon's last chance for me. And despite everything, Scarlet and Violet were fun, meaningful experiences that I was willing to waste time in. Time is a commodity to me, but having spent 3 whole days with this game does not bother me in the slightest, and it shouldn't bother you either. Play it for 20 hours even. That's it. Play it as much as you feel is appropriate, but give it a try. Play Scarlet and Violet. Even just a little bit. I don't think you'll regret it. And if you do, then you can leave an angry comment on this video and just say, F you. I fucking hate everything you say and do, and I'm unsubscribing. But if you do decide to play it and you like it, well then that's great. You should leave a comment here as well. Oh my gosh. Wow. Ultimately, I want to leave you with this. My last thought about Pokemon Scarlet. And Pokemon Violet, but you know what I mean. There's a gym leader whose name is Larry. Say what you want about the VTuber gym leader. Whatever. There's a gym leader named Larry, who is a normal guy. Please play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, even just for a little bit. You might like what you experience. And I don't think it's a waste of time. Wow, that was a great video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I said it was great because, you know, I made it. But if you liked it, leave a like, comment about what your favorite part of Paldea is, or something. It's a Saturday morning and I look gross, I get it. I need to record an epilogue, so that's what we're doing here today. But yeah, I mean, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. You probably listened to the Friday Chinatown thing. I don't know where I got that. I like it. Yeah. Special shout-outs to Man on the Internet for providing me the footage of the great creator of Paldea, because I played through that game without recording it. So that made it kind of a problem if I wanted to use my own footage, and I didn't want to replay Scarlet or Violet because there are other games I want to play. Speaking of, you can expect more essays and reviews and whatnot, just general writing about video games content in the near future. I have some ones that I'm working out right now, to put it very simply. And this one was a lot more free form and sort of improvised. Future ones will be, you know, a little bit more structured. I just wanted to get everything that was on my mind out, and it was easier to just, like, go through my notes and improvise it this way. I don't think many videos like this will be like this going forward, but you know, we'll see. Maybe there's just, you know, unscripted mayhem. But the point is, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a great day. And again, I know I look like it's a Saturday morning. I work like this. I look like this on a regular basis. You think people get glammed up for the camera? No. No. No, 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 no. I don't look like my model-esque self on a regular basis. Are you kidding me? No, I do not wake up like that. I wake up like this. So, you know, keep that in mind. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Go play them for 5 hours, and then you can stop if you want. I'm not gonna judge you. Bye.